The big news on Saturday, the big event on Saturday is the UFC on Fox in Sacramento from the Golden One Center. And one of the big fights is one that sort of was concocted and put together by one man and one man only. His name is Mickey Gall. He called out Sage Northcutt after his win over CM Punk in Cleveland back in September. Shortly thereafter, he got what he wanted, and now he is joining us on the phone 5 days before this big fight in Sacramento. Mickey, how are you?
What's up, Mr. Helwani, sir?
Oh, how are you? You just spoke to like 1,000 people today, right? Doing a ton of interviews?
Yeah.
Which was the best? Which one do I have to kind of beat? Which one do I have to live up to? Or were they all kind of crappy? You could say that too.
I like it, man. It was cool hanging with Jim Norton and Matt Serra for like an hour doing their show.
Never
Jim
heard
Norton,
of them.
Matt Serra.
Never heard of those guys. No, not familiar.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. That is awesome. So you were getting the love today in New York. And so I'm wondering, here we are, I guess it's like, almost exactly 3 months since the last time I spoke to you, which was right after the Punk fight. Has life changed drastically since that big win, or is it relatively the same?
Not really, man. You know, I've just been training. You know, I've been at Gracie, New Jersey, with David Adeve, working with my striking coach Sean Diggs. You know, just been getting work.
And so,
better.
So there was no time where you kind of smelled the roses. You went on a victory lap tour. None of that.
No, not really. You know, I took it light for a week or two, just letting my body recover. But no, I'm just focused on getting better, man. I gotta worry about fighting the best fighters in the world, so I gotta make sure I'm of that caliber.
Did you think the payoff to beating Punk would be greater than what it was?
No, I didn't have. It was a nice fight, but it wasn't he wasn't a UFC caliber guy. So I did what I was supposed to do.
Is Sage Northcutt a UFC caliber guy? Like, does your UFC career, in your opinion, begin on Saturday?
Yeah. The first two guys were, they were not UFC caliber guys, but yeah, Sage is. He's good. He has some weapons, but I'm gonna beat his ass.
When you called him out, did you already know that this was a possibility? Because it all happened so quickly. He agreed. He jumped on it. And you don't fight in the same weight class. Yes, I know he fought once at 170 this year, but prior to that, he was a 55er. He went back to 55. Did you have some kind of premonition that this was a possibility, and that's why you called him out?
Well, I had heard that he was planning on he wanted to do his next fight at 170, and if not, I was willing to go down to 155. I'd have a crappy month. I'd have to be very, very disciplined. But there's a reason why I want this fight, man. I know it's a great matchup for me. I'm punching up. He's got a lot of hype, a lot of attention, and I just know I can work him on the feet and on the ground.
Yeah, and so when you've seen him fight in the UFC, like, he's obviously fought more UFC fights than you, but would you say that he's never fought anyone quite like you, which I know is a weird statement for some to hear because you've only had those 2 fights and, like you said, not UFC caliber opponents, but do you still feel like you're better than the guys he's fought in the UFC thus far?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Barberane is tough. He's a dog. He's a very durable, tough dude. I do think I'm more skilled than him, but yeah, I definitely think I'm a tougher opponent than he's been given.
He equated your opponents thus far to like you were fighting someone's dad. Did you hear that? That's
not that inaccurate. That was what I was just saying to you, man. Yeah, that's not that inaccurate.
He also said this to me recently. He's talking about my hair. He wants to punch the spikes out of my hair. And looking at that from his fights that I've seen and looking at his picture, his hair kind of looks like mine. It just doesn't have the hair gel in it. It doesn't look like me. I'm thinking that maybe he should get some hair gel and style it or something.
Ooh, burn. That one hurts. That was scathing.
Well, what's your problem?
I don't know, man. I'm not. I don't really care about hair. I just thought it'd be fun to he's got the spiky hair, and I offered to do the hair bet Loser shaves it, since people are seeming to latch onto the hair thing.
And what happened?
But I don't know, man. I don't think he hasn't said anything. I'm down. It's hair. It grows back. I'm confident I'm not going to be the one shaving it. I think he's a little worried. I think that shows a little lack of confidence. You're afraid to lose those locks.
So is it fair to say 5 days out, the bet is still on the table? You're still willing to put your hair on the line?
Yeah, and I'll probably bring it up fight week.
Oh, yeah.
Well, now it is fight week, but I'll probably bring it up out there in Sacramento when I see him.
Is that strictly it? The loser has to shave his head, nothing else? No other stipulations?
No, yeah, that was the only bet. People seem to like it, so I'm down to follow through on that. I think he should too. Let's make it fun. Whatever. It's hair. It grows back.
Sure. And of course, we all remember Donald Trump was involved in a hair versus hair match at WrestleMania. So if he can do it, we all can do it. Yeah,
I learned that was a wrestling thing. People were talking about hair, so I said, let's shave it. Loser shaves it.
On a serious note, we did ask him about fighting you, and I just want to play you a quick clip of what he said and get your response, okay?
Yeah, I heard it, but okay.
All right, here we go. I know you listen to the show all the time. You're one of our biggest fans, but just for the record, let's play the clip. Here's Sage Northcutt talking about his opponent, Mickey Gall.
All I can say is that I believe I had better grappling than him, and I believe that better stand up. If I want to go out there, I can take the fight wherever I want. So if I want to go out there and stand up with him and knock him out, I believe I can do that. If I want to take him down and submit him, then I believe I can do that also.
What do you think about that, Mickey?
That's cool. Pick your poison, Sage. I'm gonna hurt him in either spot. So, I think the same thing. I also think I hit him with some shots. He might go to sleep. And we get him on the ground. I'm levels above him there. But yeah, I think my stand-up's better than his, and I think my ground's better than his.
When you hear him say that, do you think that that's just pre-fight rhetoric? He's just saying that, or do you think he actually believes it?
Probably pre-fight rhetoric, but to be in the sport, we're fighters. You got to believe in your stuff, or why else would you go out there and put it on the line? So
right.
It's cool if he believes it. I hope he does think that those things, especially the ground, man. I mean, whatever. That's cool. If he wants to, pick your poison, whatever you want.
But it does seem, just watching the Road to the Octagon show, that you are actually eager to show people that your striking is better than people think, that you have more power in your hands, that you're a better boxer, kickboxer than people think. Is that accurate?
Yeah, man. I mean, I didn't get to showcase any of that in the CM Punk fight. He came, charging at me. Came in hot, so I just changed levels, put him on his back. And in the Michael Jackson, the one punch I threw dropped him. So I didn't get to really showcase anything. And I've been working really diligently with my striking coach Sean Diggs, and I wanna turn some heads. I wanna show what I can do.
One interesting aspect of this fight that kind of flew under the radar a little bit is that you spent some time at TriStar, right?
Yep.
How long were you there for?
3 weeks.
Prior to that, he was at TriStar not that long ago. Did you know that when you went up there?
Interesting. Yeah.
So why did you want to go to the gym that he was once at?
No, I talked to Firas out in Cleveland, and I really respect Firas and guys like Rory, George St. Pierre. I study those guys. I think they're all that's three great martial artists right there. I think Firas is one of the greatest minds in MMA, and I wanted to learn. I want to learn from him. And then, I also know Firas has a black belt in karate, so he knows karate, and he also knows Sage, like Sage trained up there. So it seemed like a useful, place to get some work in.
Well,
and it was. I had a great time up there.
Will Firas corner you on Saturday?
Yeah, he'll be in my corner.
And are you going to continue to go to TriStar throughout your career now?
Absolutely. Yeah. I really, I had a great time up there. Firas is a wealth of knowledge, and there's, people, the gym, great guys in the gym. I'll be, my Gracie, New Jersey is my home.
Sure.
But, I'll be absolutely be making trips up there, staying in the dorms, hanging out, having some fun. Did
you try to get the scoop on Sage? Like, why didn't he ever come back? What was it like working with him? Did you do some investigative reporting?
Yeah, they said he was, I asked, they said they said he seemed a little homesick, and, they said, some of the guys are saying he didn't really work that hard. They didn't think he had that, like, he didn't work that hard. They would say I was a much harder worker.
Huh.
And that they expect me to beat him up.
So when you hear that, that's kind of like music to your ears, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, okay, so now you have this fight against Sage coming up on Saturday. You strike me as the kind of guy, you just based on what you've shown us, that you already know the next person you're calling out. Have you thought of that person yet?
Yeah, I got a name in mind.
Wow. How many weeks before the fight do you start thinking about the next one?
I guess I think about it. This one came more recently.
Okay.
I kind of made the decision, very, very recently. The last one, I'd planned on wanting to fight with Sage before I even did the CM Punk fight. Probably before the Michael Jackson fight.
Wow.
That was a fight that, I saw then, and I was just like, this is a good fight for me. Because I picked this fight, man. Remember that. I wanted this fight.
Sure.
Because I know what I can do to that kid.
Okay, so, and recently you came up with the next guy after Sage?
Yeah, want me to tell you who it is?
I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna though.
Why, Mickey? Why would you do that to me? You get me excited.
Gotta tune into Fox, man.
Damn.
Yeah, no, I'm a jerk. I'm sorry.
On the mic, you're gonna do it?
Yeah.
Can you give us a hint? Just a hint.
What?
Can you give us a hint?
Yeah, all right. I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
He's older than me.
Oh, gosh. Everyone's
It's
older.
a he.
Well, geez. Wow. What a hint. Amazing. Thank you for that. What a scoop.
Yeah.
No one giving me anything today. It's been slim pickings. Is it hard to talk trash with a guy like Sage since he's so happy-go-lucky? I mean, I know you call him corny and everything, but he's just such a lovable guy, no? Is that hard for you, or you don't share that assessment of him?
Yeah, he's, sometimes I feel like he acts like what he thinks a person is supposed to act like. Like, it's almost like it's just over the top. Like, I feel like I feel uncomfortable, like, conversating with him. Like, I have no hate for the guy. He seems like a nice kid. He's a young kid. I'm sure he'll grow into his own and, like, get, like a genuine personality eventually. But, he just seems a little corny.
So you think he's kind of fake?
I guess. I don't know. I really, I've never met him. I've seen him fight. I've seen him talk.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. He's fine.
Okay. What do you think? What's your, when you think about the fight, does this go past the first?
This is what I say. I think I might knock him out in the first, but I also, smart money's probably I choke him out in the second.
Okay. Early second or late second?
Second.
Okay, just second.
So somewhere in the second, yeah.
Talk lately that Punk is going to come back to the UFC. What do you think of that?
I think he'll get dealt the same way I dealt him. I think if he fights a UFC caliber guy, I think they'll do him the same way. So I think he in hindsight he probably should have taken some like regional fights, amateur fights, smaller shows. But I think that's ballsy of them to want to come back.
Okay, so but if you're Dana White, you wouldn't do it?
I don't know. I mean, he's definitely going to help your pay-per-view, and he brings that other audience. But for the kind of the legitimacy of the sport, I think it may water it down a little bit.
Did they hook you up with a bonus after that fight because you did such an amazing job of selling it?
Did I get a bonus for selling the fight?
Yeah, you did a fantastic job.
Nah.
I thought. Come on, really?
No, but it's cool, man. I was very happy. I'm very happy with what I'm getting.
Okay, fair enough. And by the way, one last thing. I was watching the Road to the Octagon show, and I've had the pleasure of meeting your sister, and I had no idea what she has been through throughout her life, and it was just very touching to hear her talk about you and how much you meant to her. If anyone missed it, just briefly, she was battling drug addiction, and you supported her greatly, and she started doing jiu-jitsu, and it really turned around her life. Is she completely sober now? Is she doing okay?
Yeah, she's over to like 24, 26 months sober. She's doing great. I'm really proud of her. She's doing great.
That's a beautiful thing. Wow.
Yeah, thank you.
What you said about not knowing about next month, next week, next year, it was just really nice because I see you guys together all the time, and your mom is at your fights and everything like that. I'm assuming the same thing will occur this week in Sacramento. Everyone coming out for you?
Yeah, they'll all be out there.
All right. That's a great thing. Well, I wish you the best, Mickey. Thank you for squeezing us in after a long day of talking about yourself. I appreciate that very much. Best of luck to you. Safe travels over to Sacramento, and good luck, of course, in the fight on Saturday.
Thanks, buddy. My pleasure, man. You're my boy. I'll see you out there.
Sadly, I will not be there for this one. Thanks for reminding me. I'm very sad about it. I really want to be there. I love this card. I love this fight, but I recently became a father, and now we have 3 kids, and they're very young, and so hard to go back-to-back weeks away from home, at least for now. So I had to skip Sacramento, but I'm very sorry, and I hope you know that I will be there in spirit and hope to talk to you afterwards.
Yeah, man, of course. I get it. That's duty. All good.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. All the best, Mickey.
Yeah, you too, bro.
Oh, by the way, Mickey, are you there?
Yep.
What song are you coming out to?
I'm coming out to Hey Mickey, You're So Fine, but there's going to be a little remix with it.
A remix? Wow. So they let you keep the song, but you had to sort of metal rock it up, probably, right?
No, it was my choice.
Oh.
They were down to let me use it again. But yeah, I wanted to spice it up a little bit.
Okay, I like it. Keep us on our toes. All right, looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Again, thank you for the time. Good luck on Saturday, Mickey.
My pleasure, bro.
All right, there he is, Mickey Gall. Hey, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind.